Yo, testing one, two. Testing one, two. Okay, cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to run through um, some steps on how to consolidate materials in Blender. Um, yeah, so here's what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is I've opened up this mesh. I'm taking a look at it, and there's a lot of parts to it, right? There's a lot of little parts to it. And what I want to do is kind of separate these into more manageable parts. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hide all of these armatures. So click on the armature, hit H, just so that they're out of my way. H, H. They're not gone or deleted. They're just invisible. All right, and now I want to group these things together, right? And so I can group it in a couple of different ways, right? It looks like the body, and this is all separate. So I could separate it and make a group for the arms and then a group for the head. But I'm gonna see how much I can get in just the top part. So I'm just gonna let's select the legs, right? And then I'm gonna hit H to see what disappears. And it looks like just the legs. So very cool. So another good thing about this is when you look at these separated pieces, um, yeah, there's a couple. Where are all the separated pieces? Okay, if I look at the separated pieces here, they each have their own material on them, which makes it a little bit easier. So I'm just gonna grab all of this, hit H to see if I got it all. Good. I'm gonna hold Shift and click on one of these parts. There we go, the main legs, and I'm just gonna hit Join. All right. So now I just have a joined piece here. Good. So I'm gonna go ahead and hide this, and I'm gonna see if I can just get this whole upper body in one piece. So I'm gonna hit A to select everything, and then I'm gonna select hold Shift and select the body because you want one active thing for everything to be joined to. It's kind of what Blender's looking for. And then I'm gonna right click and then join all of these. All right. So now I'm gonna hit Alt H to bring everything back, and I've got these armatures back again. So I'm gonna go ahead and hide them. There we go. All right. Nice. And it looks like when I brought them all together, I've got some issues up here. So I'm not sure what happened up here. So let me hit Control Z and figure out what's going on there. All right, so hit all of this, hit this, and join. All right, that looks fine. So there must be another mesh in here that I'm not, yeah, whatever this is. I don't know what this is. So I'm gonna not include that, and then I'm just gonna look for the other piece. What is this? What is that? Is that interior design or something? I'm not sure. Oh, is that like a shirt or a body piece? Like a undershirt or something? All right, well, that's not, I'm not gonna mess with that. Let's see what else we got here. Is there any other mesh pieces that I missed? Where did the legs go? Did I delete the legs? Hold up. Alt H. No. All right, so I've got an arm piece that I want to get rid of. Let's get rid of these bones here. I'm just hiding them, of course. All right, so I should just have these two pieces. All right, cool. All right, so let's go. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing I want to do is take a look at the UV maps for this thing. So I'm going to change this to UV editor and go into edit mode. And there we go. We've got a hot fucking mess of UV maps here. And so the first thing that I would normally do, the easiest thing to do is just repack everything, right? And we're going to repack this so it's all on one texture. So to do that, I'm going to go over here to my little, whatever this section is, object data properties. I'm going to go down to UV maps, and here we got a diffuse UV. I'm just going to hit plus. It's going to make a copy of that UV. See, they're exactly the same. And what I like to do also is just make sure these are synced up. That way, whatever I select here, oops, gets selected on the mesh. See it better if it's like that. See? Boom. Whatever. All right. So I'm just gonna select all of these and go to here and pack islands. Now everything is packed onto this um, mesh, all nice and neat. Right. Now, typically what I would look for is overlaps, but in this case, I'm going to see if I can do it without it. Since it's already made, this is already a model that's put together. Basically, I just want to get that same data and just push it over to another version of the model. And so I'm just going to try it like this first and then see if I have any overlaps I need to worry about. When you're doing your custom mesh, you're doing your original maps and such, then it's important that you don't have overlaps because there's a lot of calculation going on, but we shouldn't have to worry about that here. So if I check overlaps, I can see that there are several things that are overlapped. In this case, a lot of these pieces right here are overlapped. But also if I take a look at the overlap sections, they're very low impact sections, right? So I don't even think that even if they got baked weird, that there would even be an impact. If I turn off the grid, very little of it is actually going to be shown or even noticed at all. So I don't think there's going to be any major issues there. If that turns out to be incorrect, I can go back and do a new map and set it up. But we're just going to keep it with that setup. All right, cool. All right, so now that I have this all like this, I'm going to hit Shift D to make a new one, and I'm going to bring this one over to the side. That way I can compare what's going on. Now, I do that after I've made my duplicate UV map so that they both have the same setup. But for this one, I'm going to switch the active view to this new UV map. It's going to make that all ugly. And then I'm going to go up here to my materials, and I'm getting rid of all of my materials. Because ultimately, I just want one material here. So I'm going to hit New. And I'm going to just call this one Jacket Pull. Right? All right, cool. So I've got this up here. I can change the color if I want to. We'll make it blue, whatever. All right, so let's get to baking. So I'm going to leave this one aside for a moment. Then I'm going to go back to here. We're going to go into edit mode. I've got all this stuff here. And if you got text tools, which is an add-on that I won't stop ever talking about, please use it because it will save you so much time. All right, so I'm here in the text tools menu, and I'm going to go baking, and I'm going to go here and let's go ahead and bake it. So I'll bake a color map, and I'm going to change my output to, let's say 2K. We'll see what we can get. 2K is good enough, or do I need to go 4K? We'll go to and bake it. All right, so I baked it all up, and I can go back in here and take a look and see what's going on as well. So I'm going to turn this off, and I don't really see an impact of those overlap sections, right? Things don't look crazy. Here, all of this looks smooth and correct. This looks a little bit weird, but we'll see how that pans out. But I don't see any major impacts to the actual like paint job. Nothing looks weird. These look pretty good too. They're small. I don't know if that's gonna make a difference or not, but we'll check it out. If I want to get them a little bit better, I can just do a 4K. That's an option. So we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna do it for, and then let's go ahead and just test it, right? So let me go ahead and save this. So save as, and I did a test run earlier, so I'm gonna make a new folder here. This will be demo, consolidate, gen 2. And I'll go ahead and save that there. Nice. So let's go over to our gen guy. We've got our one material here. Let's go to shader menu, go to shader. I hit Shift A to open up my little search menu. We'll go to search, or hit S and then just type image. Another option, you can just pull out from it and then type image. All right, but either way, I've got this here. Let's go to our new map here. We'll go into here and we'll plug it in. All right, so we got it over here, right? And everything looks like it's matched up pretty good. I don't really see any major issues. It doesn't look exactly the same. And at first that puzzled me, and I was like, well, why doesn't it look exactly the same? And well, there's other maps on here that we're going to need to go ahead and make so that this actually looks good. So let's go back to this guy, and let's go ahead and get those maps. So UV editor, right? Cool. And I'm just going to go back into here, and I'm going to make some new maps. So we need, let's see, a metallic map. And I'll go ahead and save it. We'll make a roughness map. Save that. Make a specular. We'll save that, and then we'll make a tangent normal. Now, it'll often say it needs a high, low, and whatever, but you don't usually, as long as you have like normal data plugged in. You can do like a traditional like Blender bake with text tools. I just never had to. Usually if I'm baking, I'm just transferring materials already over. And here we go. And we've got some weird stuff going on right here, which I'm not a fan of. But let's see if it actually pops up. And I'm not even sure what area that is. So what I could do is go into edit mode. We'll hit this. And now I'm just going to go to face select mode, and I'm going to select, hit L over top of this so I can kind of see where this is. And then I'm going to go into wireframe and then x-ray mode. And then I'm going to go to view frame selected. And it is some button on the inside of his jacket, so I could care less, right? I'm not going to ever see that, so I don't have to worry about it. If it was on like a major part like this section up here, then there'd be an issue. Like there's also some going on here. So what is this? Can I even see that anywhere? Is it popping up anywhere? No. What about this one? Also, no. So I'm not even going to worry about those areas. But typically, if you have this type of situation where you get this discoloring, it can lead to really ugly looking normal. But it doesn't seem to be an issue. So let's go ahead and save this. And as a 3D modeler and you get into Blender and you're working on stuff, some things you're going to want to take and pay attention to and address that are totally irrelevant. And that's one of them. And that's one of the things I had to learn when I was making it. Be a perfectionist to a fault, so to speak. And it's really bad. So we're going to go into here and we're going to click on this guy. And we're going to go ahead and grab those other texture maps we just baked. I'm going to hit Shift D to duplicate that. Let's go and grab this. I usually just use this third option right here. And then let's grab this normal map. And I'm going to pull off of here. Just type in normal map. There we go, normal map. And then plug this person into there. Make sure it's at non-color. And now we've got our normal map on there. Nice. Let's go ahead and move this up. Hit Shift D. Up. Turn it off. Let's grab another map. Let's grab our specular map. Plug it right in. And you may think like, well, I didn't make a specular map or I didn't attach one. Well, also there's defaults for each of the shader pieces whenever you make it. Like these are already set to like defaults on this principal BDSF thing, or they might already be set in whatever shader. If you're importing like a blend file or something, they might already be set. So if you want to take that and move it somewhere else, either you need to remember what those numbers are in Blender to move it over to the other one in Blender, or you'd have to copy the initial stack and move it over to the next material, or you can just make a texture map. You can just bake a texture map of it, and then you can move it over in Blender and then also take it outside of Blender to like to Unreal or whatever. This is what the roughness map. Wait, what am I get two roughness maps? Let me get this one. Metallic. So we'll put that up there. We'll put this one here in roughness. All right, and there we go. We've got our outfit, and they look pretty much the same. If I felt like I wanted them a little bit better, I could possibly do a higher quality bake. So we can try that real quick. So let's go back into here. Oops. Yeah, this guy. Go to edit mode. Well, actually, I don't even think I need to be in edit mode. Actually, I can just be in here. Go into UV editor. And let's do a 4K bake real quick. For the normal. And if you're going to do, in this case, doing a 4K bake isn't that bad. takes a little bit of time. So the better your PC, the faster these bakes are gonna go. You can do an 8K bake as well. I don't know why you would, but it's definitely an option. All right, is it done? Nope. Takes a few seconds. I don't have like a little counter down here either, so that is unfortunate. All right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and save this, and I'm just gonna save it over top of the one I have. Normal maps usually take the longest to bake, and I'm gonna do one for right here as well. And there we go. Save as, and we'll just save over top of it. And then I'm just gonna reload it. So I'm gonna go here to shader editor and just click on this and then click on that. And there's not a really huge difference. Do that. But it is what it is. But there you go. So you got a bake. So this is now one image or one material, one texture. If you wanted to say set this up for coloring, right? Now you can go say let's go into this one to edit mode, and I like to see like what areas exist. So we've got, let's turn off X-ray. So I'm just clicking on the front pieces. So we've got like this section, and this section, and this section, and this back. And so there's not going to be an easy way to address this. Let's see. You can go. Let's see if we went in here and let's take a look at these UVs. So the shirt pieces are right here. So in order to set up like a mask for these, I would probably go into another editor for this to set this up. And that might be, I might do that after I do this, the bottom section here, right? So let's do the bottom section real quick. All right, so I'm gonna hit Shift D to make a copy of it. I'm gonna bring it over, just line it up. Cool. And I'm going to do the exact same thing I did for this one. Actually, I have to wait because I did not make my UV map. And you know what? I'm going to see if I can copy a UV map over because I haven't done that in a while. But I should be able to. So I should be able to click on this, make a new UV map. And I believe if I click this one and then hold Shift and click this one and then hit Control L, I can copy UV maps. And now it didn't work. All right, so let's try it the other way around. So this one and this one, Control L, copy UV maps. And that didn't work either. Interesting. So what if I do this, this, Control L, copy UV maps? I'm not sure how you're supposed to do this. Is there a paste UV maps? Let's see. Edit. All right, so that's still that one. This one. That's still the originals. Interesting. Well, let's try this then. This one doesn't have the UV map. This one does. So let's do our little UV map trick thingy here. Okay, I think this one's going to be a little bit weird. So let's go ahead and unpack this or pack it and see what's up. And now look, everything is stuck on this side here. right? And it's like, ew, that sucks. So I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna hit Control Z to go back. And a lot of it because it's trying to consider how big this one is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit Control L for this side here. Let's sync it up again. I can select that and hit Control L to get all these pieces. And I'm just gonna pack that like that, right? And now I'm gonna try to pack it again. Let's see. And where is it? And there we go. And we get something that's a lot better. We've got more stuff, more space being taken up. But we can do it a little bit differently as well. So I could take this one like here, and let's see what different materials we have. So we have this zipper. So I'm gonna hit this. There's the zipper. Make sure it's at face select mode, and it's by itself. Cool. I've got this piece, and I've got that like that. Cool. Then I've got this piece here. All right. And sometimes when you think you can check also, if we check the overlap, I can do that here. If I check overlap, all of this stuff is overlapped. Now for the zippers and stuff, I really don't care too much. But it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, there we go, that each leg essentially is a duplicate of the other. So if I go into X-ray mode, I might be able to do this really easily. I'm just going to select this leg, just pieces of it, and I'm going to hit Control L. And it looks like I want more of the leg, so let's do Control L. And if I hit H, I can see everything I selected, which is exactly half the leg. Cool. And I'm going to go over here, and I'm just going to move it over, we'll say 1. Or I guess 2. Let's move it over 2. 2. All right. Now I'm going to hit A, or just whatever, select overlaps. And now I just have a little bit of overlaps. So what do we got overlap still? Looks like some of the top of the body didn't transfer over. So I'm going to hit Control Z to pull this back over. And I'm going to hit backslash to isolate the pants. And now I'm going to select this and hit Control L. And actually, I'm just going to redo it. Here we go, Control L. Hit H to hide it. There we go. And now I'm just going to move this all over 2. And now let's see what kind of overlaps we got. We still got some overlaps here. So if I look at this area here, we may or may not have an issue. So it's just at the cuff of the pants. So who knows? What happens if I hit L here? Usually you can use L to kind of like select just a section. Like, oh look, that's like that. But just like the other side, I don't know how much of an impact that's going to be on the overall piece. So I'm not going to mess with it too much until I have to, right? So I'm going to go into here. I'm going to hit L, all these pieces. Or what I want to do actually is grab these 2 pieces and I'm going to pack them, right? So I'm going to go pack islands. There we go. And then I'm going to move it over. And I'm going to grab all of this and all of this. And I'm going to pack those. Pack those. All right. I kind of separated them out a little bit. Right. And then I'm going to grab this. And I'm going to pack that. And actually, these ones I'm not going to pack. They're already kind of together. So I'm just going to grab both of these and move them closer, but not overlapping. And I'm going to grab these. And let's move this. Let's do something like this. I'll grab these and I'm going to move them over here. And then I'm going to just rotate them a little bit like this. Say 90 degrees. Negative 90 doesn't really matter. I'm going to put like some of it under here, and then let's grab this piece and move this, say here. make it a little bit smaller. There we go. Cool. And I think this is what, 2 pieces? Yep. So I'm gonna grab this, hit Control L, and I'm gonna rotate it. Use this box to make it easy. Hit 90 degrees. Cool. I'm gonna move this one up top. And then I'm gonna hit L on this top one. Move this one over here. Like that. Alright, cool. Now I'm gonna select all of it and then just hit S to scale it down. Cool. And I'm gonna hit S and then X to scale it in a little bit. Move it in. And if I can't really see what's going on, I can make a new image real quick. So new image. We'll make it 40K. So I'm gonna highlight both of these. 4096. Oops, where's my 4? Say okay. And now I can kind of see things a little bit better. I'm gonna SX to bring this in a little bit more. Move it over. Everything's fitting nice. I can move these up. Boom. Alright, so move them up. There we go. So this is going to be my new map. Right? There we go. And I think if I'm looking at it, look, it's all jacked up. If I go back to this regular one, where it initially is, everything looks fine. If I go to this one, it looks messed up. So we're going to keep the view on that one, but I'm going to select this, make sure I'm selecting this UV map here. And we're going to do the same thing we did over there. So we're going to bake it. Now, I also want to see if I can get this map over to the other one, because I should be able to. I'm going to hit backslash to bring my stuff back. I'm going to see if I can get this map over here. So I'm going to just hit plus to make a new one. And if I go over here and take a look at it, this new one looks just like the original one. And let's see, let's click this, or let's click this, and then this one. Hit Control L, copy UV map. Let's see what happens. Anything? Oh, look, it worked. So I'm thinking maybe it needs to have the same UV map name to copy that map over. I don't know, but that worked on that time, so that's something you can think about in case you copy it early. Make sure you have the same UV map named, and then create a new UV map and copy it over to that. All right, nice. So in this case, I'm just gonna click to this crazy looking one. I'm gonna delete this top one on this side. I'm gonna go over here and do the same thing I did with the materials. Get rid of them. Hit new material. I'm gonna call this pants full. Change it to whatever color I want to there. And let's get to bacon. And as long as I'm set to the right UV, it doesn't really matter. So we're going to do a, just for time's sakes, I'm just going to do a 1K bake. So it bakes faster. There we go. We got a nice bake. It looks kind of cool. The other reason for setting it up like this and not trying to let the blender change the UV pack, if they're made like from a game already, they're probably going to be organized pretty well. So you can use this to make a mask. We're going to use this in just a little bit to make a mask. And you know what? Because I am going to do that, I'm going to do a higher resolution for these ones. And I'm just going to do it for the normal maps and for the base color map. Here we go. All right, let me save as. We'll just save it in a folder. I like to get the long ones out of the way. All right, come on, little machine. I should probably change my settings so I'm using a GPU processor, but it's all good. There we go. There's our normal map. Image, save as. Nice and easy. Let's go ahead and just bake the other ones while we're here. We got a metallic map. I'm going to change the settings down to just 1K for now. If we had more detail in the roughness maps and speculars and metallics, it would be better to do a larger bake size, larger resolution, I guess. But also, if you try to cook it at a higher resolution than it already is, it's not necessarily going to make it look any better either. So, unless you're going to do some legitimate upscaling, it shouldn't be an issue. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and apply our materials. So we'll just pull out from here, image, open it up, and we'll go to our pants. And there we go. We got some pants. I'm gonna click on this and just grab this little piece here, just so I can paste it. And I could have easily just looked it up, but I didn't. And the reason why I like the Control D, because it opens right back up to the same folder that the file is in. Right, there we go. Shift D. Another thing that you can do is I'm going to get the metallic, the specular map here, but I can grab this roughness and drop it in, and I can grab this metallic and drop it in, and then I'll go ahead and open up the specular. Kind of save some time. All right, there we go. And we've got this all set up. Now, you don't have to move it to the side if you don't want to. That's completely up to you. I just did it for the sake of this video. What I normally do is I just bake everything as it is. And then I would go ahead and make a duplicate or whatever, and then it'd be right in the same spot. But if I want to move this back to where it was, I can just click on the body and just set this all back to 0. And there it is over top of the body. But before I do that, I'm just going to rename it to, let's see, Gin Jacket OM for one mat. Go. And here I'll say Gin Pants OM. All right, cool. And these all have the same weights and whatever was set up for them. Initially, you don't lose anything. But there you go. So that's how you would set up a consolidated map. All right, so now the next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and do some material. I want to make it like a material ID, like a mask that we can use in the game. So I'm going to go ahead and pause for a second and set that up. All right, it's recording again. All right, cool, nice. All right, so to do that, I'm gonna use Photopea or Photopea is like I like to call it, and I'm just gonna open up one of those images. Let's see, where did I? Where in the world? All right, there we go. Let's see, downloads. Nope, not those downloads. Downloads here. Generic downloads. There we go. Okay, so let's see, base color map. Oh, I have two. There's my little preview window. Probably should name these better. All right, so we'll start with this one. All right, so there's a bunch of different ways you can go about doing this. I don't know how well these are separated. So I'm also gonna grab a different map as well. So I've got this one here. I'm gonna grab and sort of open in place. And let's grab like, I don't know, the metallic map. That's not the right one. X or how delete. All right, Control Z. There we go. That is not the one I want. I want. Okay, when I look at this, look, I think there's not a lot of space in between here. So that's not necessarily the best thing that I could have done. Yeah, see, I didn't leave any space in there. I'm going to bring it in anyways just to see if that is the case. Let's go ahead and just snap it into place. Zoom in. Yeah, I didn't really leave a lot of areas here to work with. That wasn't very smart of me. When you do your UV maps and you do, say, the unpack option, so if I went back into here, right, and I think I can actually probably transfer this stuff over. So let's see if that works. So I'm going to click on the body underneath of it, right, and I could tell this is the training one. And I'm going to call this one Gin Jacket OG. All right. There we go. So let's go back into our UV editor. So we're going to edit A and whatever, UV editor, right? And I don't have very much space in between these. So I want a little bit more space in between it. So I'm going to go and make a new UV map because I like the first one. I don't want to lose it. And I'm going to go ahead and repack it. So I'm going to go to pack islands. It's going to pack them again. And it's going to give me a slightly different layout, most likely. And I'm changing this to like 0.06, I think. Yeah, there we go. 0.06. Oof. All right. And let's see. And I'm gonna bake just a 2K image. And I'm gonna bake a base color. Boom. And let's bake an alpha. And since all the parts should be an alpha, this should be pretty easy. Nice. And we still get a little padding. And that's what was happening before. That little bit of padding was running over. And we don't want it to run over for the mask. So I'm just going to say save as. Save. And I'm curious right now is if I can bake yeah, I'm gonna have to do this for all of the pieces. So let me just do that now. Roughness. Now actually I probably shouldn't even do all the pieces just yet, but I'm going to. This is one of those things I should have thought of ahead of time. And it's also a good reason not to just get rid of stuff. Do I bake it? Okay. Mhm. All right, if I would have deleted that first original one mesh because I have the new um, unified material one, then I'd be like, ah, I don't have anything. Go. All right, so let's go back into here. So I'm going to close that. Let's say okay. And I'm going to open up the new ones. And let's open up the base color. And then let's file open and place the alpha. All right, I'm going to turn the opacity down a little bit. There we go. Cool. So let's see. So he's got a couple of different colors already baked into this thing. But what we want to do is we're going to have to figure out how to grab this stuff, right? So we could try to just select it. Oops, I guess I gotta connect the right one. Right, and select maybe the outlines and stuff. And then fill them with a new color. That's one option that we could do. It's probably going to be the main option. Sometimes I would try to, zoom out. I'm not very good at this. But let's say just these red parts. We'll start with the red parts, right? So what I like to do is create a couple folders, right? For maybe the different mask colors. And I'm just going to say red, right? And now I'm going to turn this on and then use this. Select, what? And then I gotta go up here. And I'm gonna select that and then hold shift and select that and that and that. And I'm selecting the alpha sections, right? And not the actual image because I don't want to try to get all of those red pieces. So I'm just gonna grab all these pieces that I think I need. I don't know about this. Is like gloves or something. Oh, okay. Have everything. Oh, man, I'm not good at navigating this stuff. Okay, so now that I have all that selected, I can just go to my red folder here and then hit this mask. And now I got a mask for my red stuff. I'm going to do the same thing for, say, blue. And I just called it red because that's the color I'm going to use. All right, so we're going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to grab all these green ones. Go here, bam. All right, and then I'm going to move. Call this one our base. And that's not going to have a mask on it. And then we'll call this one green, I guess. Okay. And I want to try and cut out these feathers. Just duplicate it. I'll hide all this for now. So let's desaturate it. What I really want to do is figure out a good way to uh, determine that. So I think levels might be a good way to. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get. Mm. Nice. And I'm gonna see if I can add to that. So if I do that initially, right? Let's go ahead and turn that on. Let's add a, just make sure that's inside there. Get in there. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just nuke that. Let's go to our bucket tool. Just pick green. And there we go. So I've got this section in here. And then you could trim it up and make it as clean as you want to. Let me see if I can add more to it. I don't know. Let's go back to this one. Right. And click on this and hit this. Oops. Maybe I have to do a new one. I don't know. So let's delete that. Let's hide you for a second. Let's try. Maybe I can do a select by color range. Right. And we're going to select this white section. Oh my goodness. So, hmm. Yeah, this would just be a pain, to be honest, to cut these feathers out if they're not super clear. There's a whole bunch of ways you can cut them out. You can use the pencil to create a mask, blah blah blah, whatever you want to use. Um, I'm not going to do any of that because this is not my project, but it is an option that you have. Instead, I'm just going to make a general mask. So let's see. I'm not going to use green. Let's make my base um, black, I guess. Well, actually, let's make my base red. All right. Sure, that's all. Why is that not filling up? Oh, brain bucket. Right, there we go. Cool. And then I guess I'll make this one blue. There we go. And let's make this one green. I mean, I know I'm not following the names at all. It doesn't matter. What matters is I have essentially this. And let's make uh the opposite. Let's make the background like that's not being done. We're gonna make that um whatever. So I hit Control A, edit, just copy, and I'm gonna create. I'm actually gonna put this in here. So I'm gonna hit that. I'm gonna hit Alt. I'm gonna select on that. Hit Control V. There we go. If I come back to here, there we go. And then this I'm gonna delete. And I can just keep it. Oh, look, I've got this one up here looking all crazy. Let's go ahead and, I don't know where that's coming from. Did I delete something? Oh, let's make this black. Oops. Oh, so I must have adjusted this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this for now. And I'm gonna delete that. Oh wait, where is it? Hold on. Why is that happening? Hmm. Alright, so I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna delete this base. I'm actually gonna delete all of those. Oh, wait a second. Do I want to delete all of those? No. I need to at least see what I'm working with. Okay, but these are the green parts. These are the red, blue parts, or ah, I'm like, I knew there was more. Okay, that's whatever. Let's go ahead and make a go. So that's the main background, and then let me go ahead and place that alpha. Hey, don't be in there. I don't want you inside or nothing. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so let's make sure all these are visible. There we go. All right, so that's gonna be my mask. So let's go ahead and export as a PNG. So, and let's find that folder where I saved everything. Here. And I'll just call this one mask. All right, cool. Let's go back in the Blender. All right, nice. And let's see if I can go ahead and get this map over. And I'm gonna call this UV map new. And I'm gonna just move this one over just for the sake of moving it over right now. And I believe I went from here to, oh, let's make the new UV map. So it's UV map new. All right, so I got UV map new and UV map new. And I'm gonna click on this one. Copy UV maps. Go to edit mode. And it looks like that didn't work. And let's go into edit mode and make sure I didn't jack it up. But I think I did. All right, so I need to go back a bit. Okay, so I'm back here. All right, so that's what I want over. And I've already forgotten the order I need to go in. So UV map new. And I think I clicked on this one first, so now I'm gonna click on this one and then this one. Let's make sure. Okay, this one, then this one. Control L. Copy UV map. And I think it still didn't work. All right, what did I do? Oh, let's try this one. All right, let's change the view, maybe. Let's see, edit. Okay, there we go. So maybe it has to be on the active one, I'm guessing. But it is transferred over. Let's go ahead and turn this back to what's supposed to be. Cool. Now if I load up on here, I can go back into my shader, whatever. And I don't have to like make a new shader. I can just replace all of these maps. So we'll replace this with our new color map. And there we go. And it looks funky because the other maps aren't matching up just yet. So this is what, the specular. And then this one is roughness. This one is metallic. And this one is, there we go. Okay, so now we're back. Cool. But now we also have a mask. So I can hit this, and go to here. And if I click this here, I can see, okay, if I change any colors, then this is the way the colors will be changed. I don't even know what was blue that would be changed. Oh, the zipper, I guess. Okay, so the zipper would be changed. Let's say I wanted just the arms to change as well. I could go back. Let's go back and do the arms. Let's see what the arms are. So we'll go into oh, and then there's also another way I could do this. I can go into here. Nah, it's gonna take too long. I could probably go to here and I can make a new material. And we'll just call this I don't know, yellow, I guess. I'll make it yellow. There we go. And let's go into edit mode. And we'll go back into our UV editor. I can just hit L to select this area, right? Cool. When I select this area, and we'll select the hood. All right, we'll select the hood and that, and let's see what else. Is the collar its own piece? Oops. No, that's the whole front. I don't want that. Let's say like the glove piece. And when you change the color of the arms, it also changes these little things, maybe. And I'm just hovering over them and hitting L. Oh, I lost my, where'd you go? All right, so maybe I want all of this to change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of the stuff that I've got selected here. And let's make sure I'm highlighting the inside of this hood too. Oop, not the back. Control C. All right. And then I'm just going to go over here and assign it. Boom. Okay, so nice. So now what I can do is on this guy, I'm in my shader editor here. Right, cool. Um, and this is the UV map that I want to use, right? This one down here that I'm working with. I can just go ahead and go to shader, UV editor, and we're going to go ahead and bake a color. But because right now the color that's set to it is the green and the whatever, right? Cool. And so I could use that as a map, or say I don't want it. Say I want this to be um, black, right? Because black, green, red, and blue are kind of the basic colors. I can just go back into my material and set this to black. And go ahead and rebake it. Nice. And if I wanted to make sure the other parts were invisible, what I could do is just that's fine. We'll just keep it like this. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and save as, and I'm gonna save this as my new map. There we go. Shader editor. And in here, I can actually delete this now, right? I shouldn't delete it. I should have kept it, but I'm gonna go in here and just update my map. So there we go. So now I've got a new mask map that I want to use. And if I want to see it in Blender, I can kind of make a little mask thingy for it. So let's see, Shift A, search. And I'm using 3.3 right now. The mix node changes. And I'm going to use a mix node, but I'm also going to use a separate node. So I'll pull this out and hit separate, color. Now let's see if I can get this correct this time. And this is with a basic RGB black. So I'm going to run the alpha into this factor. And I'm going to make this one black, I think. Like that. And I think that's right. And then I'm going to grab another one of these. And I'm going to run the red channel into there. And run this into here and see what's up. All right, cool. So I should be able to run this into here. And this will be, make that red. All right, that works. Nice. Stuff over a little bit. So all can get messy. If these are in your way, you can just hit the little tab thingy to make them small. And then I have a preview node add-on. This is why you can see the little pictures up here. It's not default. You can to Blender, but it is kind of helpful. It's a good add-on to have. All right, move this stuff down so it's out of the way. And I'm going to do one of these for each of those main colors. So I've got one for red. Move this one into the factor for green. And let's move it out a little bit so you can kind of see it. And it just hooked up for no reason. Get out of here. Blue into the blue. And we'll just name these, or we'll set the bottom colors to match. So this is green. And this is blue. All right, and so now it looks just like that, right? And now let's take this image here And I'm gonna desaturate. So I'm gonna go to saturation, little button here. Oh, these wires get so long. I'm gonna plug this one in to see what it looks like. All right, and that's with 0 saturation. Or this should go into color. And now I can take the saturation down myself. So we'll take it down to 0. See value. I think it's just on or off. Okay. And now let's go Shift A, search color ramp. I'm gonna try to use this to make it a little bit brighter. Here we go. Take some of the blacks away. Like not all the way, but a lot of it. All right, cool. And now with this setup like this, what I can also do is make a new map, like make a like a grayscale map. So let's do that real quick. So editor. I'm just gonna bake another color map because it's hooked up into the base color node. There we go. Let's go ahead and save this. Save as base color. I'll just call it diffuse. All right. So now if I want to, I can just, instead of having this whole setup here, I can go ahead and get rid of it, delete, and use this one instead. So we'll use a diffuse, and if I plug that in, we've got our grayscale. So our grayscale makes it a lot easier to combine our colors. So I'm going to make another mix node thingy, and I'm going to push this one into the top, and then I'm going to push this one into the bottom. And we're going to go over here. Bam. All right, and then I'm going to set it to multiply, and I'll move it all the way over. All right, cool. So there we go. And if I want to change my colors, I can just go over here and change my colors. Let's go to blue and make it gold. Right? I don't like that gold. Let's make it kind of like that. Let's change our green straps. We'll make them silver. Make them a little bit black. Let's take our black color here, and let's make this like a bronzy color. Like a grayish color, maybe. All right, nice. And then if this was the look that I wanted, I just want to keep this look, I could just bake this as an image map. Should I use the editor? Say I wanted something, I want to use it non-customizable or whatever. Cool. Image. Save as. We'll say color. Variation 1. And let's say I want to make some changes to the material that we're using. So I can use these masks that I created to kind of do that as well. So like say this gold one, I want this gold to be more metal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one of these, hit Shift D, and I'm going to grab this this one here, just hooked up to the red. I'm going to bring that all the way down here, hook that up in there, and I'm going to change this to black, I believe, or white. It depends. Let's see. So I'm going to hook this up into Actually, I'm going to grab this metallic and hook it up into here. And then take this into metallic. Oh, and this is going to go into the factor. Sorry. Hmm. Is that metallic, right? Maybe that's just, maybe it should be in this one. Okay, there we go. So the original one that I want to keep, right? So the base is going to go into the top when you're using this mix node setup. The factor is how much is going to be like the alpha of what's actually going to be affected by the second color. So in this case, um, for metal, if it's all white, then that's the most metallic that it's going to be. And if it's all black, then there's like no metallic at all. So we'll make this full metallic on this one. Um, and I want to affect the roughness as well. So I'm going to do the same thing. I hit Shift D, make a new one. And let's grab the roughness and pull that into the top here. And then I'm going to grab this red one, throw it into here, and then plug this into roughness. There we go. And now I'm going to make that shiny, shiny. Oh, yeah. We got shine, baby. All right. And then let's say I want to make the arms less shiny, right? So I'm gonna just piggyback from this. I'm gonna go Shift D to make a new one. This is the new one, so it's gonna go here and add to it. Let's go find this base, and the base I just use this out the alpha, so we'll just run the alpha into here. All right. There we go. I'm pretty much taking all of the roughness out of it. Right? I'm taking all the roughness as much as I can out of it. And say I wanted to make some adjustments to the specular, I could do that as well. Let's see what happens when we take this and plug this into the specular. Not much. So I'm just gonna take that out for now. And I think I'll just leave specular as it is. Where's my little specular piece? Go back in. All right, there we go. So say I don't care about the colors, right? I don't care about having those different colors, but I do like my new special metallic. So what I can do then is just bake those new maps, right? So I'll go back into here, we'll go into the UV editor, and we'll go back to, we'll go to metallic, because I want a new metallic. So I'm gonna go ahead and bake it. Yeah, I don't really see that much of a difference, which is fine. I think roughness is going to be the biggest difference here. Yeah, because I didn't really change the metallic too much. For whatever reason, it was already at like full metallic. But this one has some difference, so we'll save this. Save as. Uh, mm, 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 mm. All right, cool. And since I have my maps here, I don't need to, if I want to keep that set up, I can always just unhook it and set it somewhere new. But I'm just going to delete these two for now. I don't need them. And I'll delete this as well. And the mask I can keep for the most part. But I can also just go back to the original colors. Let's go back to the original colors. Nice. And we're not gonna use a mask for this particular one here, right? Keep that as it is. Need to plug the stuff back in. So let's go ahead back to get our roughness. Back in. Let's grab our metallic. Get you back in. All right, and let's switch out the roughness for that new roughness we made. There we go. So now I got a shiny. Shiny version. So there's a lot of things you can do when you're consolidating your stuff in Tekken. And then of course you can also bring this into UE, and then with your mask you can change the colors. Also, if you keep the this folder, you'll have a PSD because maybe these colors don't match up with what you want to do. I think I have a guide on how to like determine what the CCI colors are initially. But if you wanted to change whatever colors are being changed by the system, by the game, or whatever material you're using, you can come back into here and then just change the color, right? You just come in here and be like, they're using yellow instead. So I'll go to this and then boom, drop it in. Now I got a new yellow mask, right? Or I can even go in here and let's grab the updated mask right here. All right, so we've got our updated mask. I'm just bring it to the very bottom. And what's some of the things that we changed with this one? So if I hide this, I hide this base piece. These, go out this. And so I think it was these black parts, right? So if I wanted to, I could, let's make another folder, right? And we're gonna use the same setup. We'll go ahead and make this a little bit lighter. And let's just grab those black parts. All right, cool. Right, there you go. Oh, and if you don't want any of the alpha show, that's an easy way to do that as well, right? Because you've only what you painted is gonna show up here. And there's little borders along the edges. I think it's because of the cut lines. Um, Typically they shouldn't be an issue because of the padding. I keep zooming in super far. Just trying to move around. So you could do that, right? So there's a bunch of different things that you're able to do that you can do with that, right? So yeah, I think that's about it when it comes to consolidation. Um, if you do it right, there shouldn't be any issues. Yeah, I've got nothing else to add. So there we go. Please enjoy.